Hello everyone, welcome to my first election analysis of Northern Irish elections. So, I bet for those of you who know me, you probably know that I am Northern Irish by descent. Not citizenship-wise, but my grandparents' families are from Northern Ireland, Londonderry and Belfast, um, specifically, the two largest cities. I'm a descendant of city folk. Okay, enough about that. Sorry, this is off the cuff, and I'm kind of sometimes bad at socializing, but I just want to talk about the Northern Irish election results from 2019, analyze them, and say what this means for unionism going forward. In case you did not know, I am a unionist. I have been described by my Irish compatriots, if you could call them that, as a West Brit, but I choose to wear that as a point of pride, badge of honor. But let's look at the Northern Irish results. So, looking at this map, my friend Max Wild, who helps me run a page that talks about Northern Irish politics. He's a fellow Kanzug supporter. He said, "Oh look, but not many people live in these areas where Sinn Féin won." However, let's just call this for what it is. This is bad. The Alliance should not have won in North Down. SDLP should not have won in Belfast South, and I'm not sure what happened in the Foyle district, Londonderry on the Foyle, yeah. I'm not sure if that was a Sinn Féin seat. Let me check. Sinn Féin seat change 0. So Sinn Féin didn't lose any seats, so that was a SDLP gain from Sinn. Oh wait. Oh yeah, that is a gain from Sinn Féin. Also, if you didn't know, SDLP, if I had to choose between the SDLP and Sinn Féin, I would choose the SDLP because they're less extreme. At least they take their seats in Parliament. I really hate. Okay, I never said I'd use the word hate. Okay, what am I saying? I use that word when I talk about nationalists all the time. I do not like Sinn Féin. We are not on good terms. So, as you can see, the nationalists made gains, and in fact they made so many gains that they became the majority in Northern Ireland at Westminster for the first time. And they all went throughout, those nationalists went all throughout Northern Ireland, and they celebrated. And I am not living there yet, but I'm moving there this year or next year, depending on my loan situation. If I was there, I probably would have cried. I did cry a little bit. I also had a panic attack, and I would have probably not been too happy that they were cheering at the destruction of my identity and country. But let's analyze this further. So the DUP won 30.6% of the votes. They still got 8% more than Sinn Féin. So that's good news. But look at who came in third. Remember, we have a multi-party system in Northern Ireland, and we have a multi-party system in Great Britain. The Alliance came in third. It wasn't the UUP who came in third. Alliance came in third. And this should indicate to people, especially now that they have a seat in Parliament, that there are a many number of young unionists who want a Liberal Party in Northern Ireland. Eventually, I hope to enter politics and be that liberal voice. I know some people have told me, "Oh, Carter, but the UUP, the Ulster Unionists, they're liberal." No, it's just that Northern Ireland is the most conservative part of the UK. Unionists don't have a liberal option. The SDLP are socialists aligned with Labour in the UK. a lot, and they are nationalists. So a unionist, and I would never vote for them, even though I am a socialist. I would vote. I wouldn't even vote for Alliance because they are neither unionist nor nationalist. They are sort of like in the middle, and I guess that's fine, but they're not sticking up for the union, and they side with the nationalists far too much for my liking. The DUP, now contrary to what everyone thinks, well, at least everyone in certain circles, the DUP are right-wing. You do not even hear the conservatives in Great Britain talking about how gay people are terrible, they're acting like animals. First off, I'm a gay person, full disclosure, and I would vote for the DUP, and I will in 5 years when I get citizenship. But I have to hold my nose and say I'm gonna vote for the DUP. It's a forced choice. I'm choosing between betraying my country and betraying my individuality. I choose my country to not betray that. But the DUP are really right-wing. They don't make Northern Ireland look bad. I mean, I'm a liberal and gay, so that's personal bias there. But I will say people in Britain, they sort of, in the mainland, they sort of do not see the whole appeal of the DUP. I'm not saying the DUP are bad. They do a really good job. Well, they try to do a really good job of defending the union, and they are staunch unionists. And on the unionism, I am 100% in favor of them. I agree. But they are right-wing, and many young unionists don't like that. Many young unionists don't like the Ulster Unionists, the old school unionists, because they aren't liberal enough for them either, so they sometimes vote Alliance. And then we also have that situation where there are many Catholics who will never vote for a unionist party, not because they don't want Northern Ireland to remain in the UK. According to this poll from Irish Central, which by the way is the worst, most horrible, biased website I've ever read, who share misconceptions about the Great Famine, about everything that has ever happened in Ireland every day, and oh god. They say a recent poll in Northern Ireland found that less than a third of respondents would support a united Ireland. A border poll was held the following day. Sorry about that. When I say Northern Ireland, sometimes my voice gets into the accent. The Belfast Telegraph, oh god, I can't stop, reports that just 29% of the 2,000 people surveyed across Northern Ireland would back United Ireland. Okay, let me see if I can pull up the Catholic numbers. So searching Catholic. Oh, nope. Nationalists. 25% said the nationalists, 40% said they were neither. And then we also have this article from the Irish Times. It says a Northern Irish identity. Yes, there are many people who are Catholics who identify as Northern Irish. Northern Ireland. Sorry, I really should have had this up at the start. Didn't even think about this. Identity. Dupe. Yes, Ulster identity is claimed by a large minority of Catholics and Protestants and by many of those who are non-aligned, aka probably atheist. Okay, citizenship by identity. Okay, surprisingly, 12.9% of Northern Irish Catholics identify as British. Representing. And Grandma Donnelly representing. And Grandpa Haynes. They represent too. Of no surprise here, a large majority identify as Irish. But look at this. 30.7% identify as Northern Irish. And that's a large base of support that I will talk about later, and that we can reach out to them. So those people who identify as Northern Irish, those people who identify as British, those Catholics still will not describe themselves sometimes as Unionists or vote for Unionist parties because they don't want to vote for DUP. They don't want to vote for UUP. Sorry, I know no one calls them that, but I started saying that the other day, and I cannot stop. But moving forward, we need to appeal to the Catholic vote. I have cited several polls to my friend from Galway. He is a Sinn Féin supporter, but I have managed so far to not knock him upside his head. Oh my god, I sound like a terrible person. But we actually have quite civil conversations actually about Northern Ireland, the Union, how we feel. I'm not going to mention his name for a shout out after I said that because I don't want him to know I said that. But he's a Sinn Féin supporter. But I remember telling him when I first went to uni for the first time, he is an Irish immigrant, and what I mean by that is I don't mean that he immigrated like I did with my grandparents' generation, or even the famine generation, or the people who immigrated in the 1700s in small numbers. If you were Catholic, by the way. If you didn't know, Catholics were barred in many states from entering because of the fear of popery and all that, but okay, moving on. He is someone whose parents immigrated to Ireland, and he visits Ireland every year, and he lives here now, and his family is all over there, and he's an Irish citizen, and he's like talking to me, and he's like, well, Northern Ireland's going to be part of Ireland soon, the Republic, and they're going to be Irish soon because the Catholics are about to overtake the Protestants' population. And I said, not necessarily. I said, I have read a poll that 51% of Catholics would back the Union if asked in a border poll. And he said, oh, really? And I said, yes. And he said, I'll have to look into that. I will give him credit. He has never called me a West Brit, so credit where credit is due. Although he did start talking to me about Welsh nationalism and how the Welsh had their own version of the IRA. And I was like, I have never read that in my life. I am not old enough to remember the Troubles. I'm not old enough to have been alive during the Troubles. I'm young. I am in the post-Troubles generation. So I was born outside of Northern Ireland. The children of immigrants and their descendants, well, grandchild of immigrants, and okay, moving on. But even if I lived in Northern Ireland, I would not remember the Troubles. I am too young. But I have never read in my life that there was a Welsh bombing campaign against the Union in the 1980s and 1990s, and that Welsh people really didn't want to be in Union. I've never read that in my life. But yeah, see, that's this kind of thing that you read when you're an Irish nationalist. Okay, I'm trying not to be biased in this video, but I have failed at every step of the way. Okay. So we just established we have a large Catholic vote in Northern Ireland that can be moved in favor of the Union. So what do we do about that? So what should we do? We should invest in that. We should either the Ulster Unionist or a new party. I'm not going to say the Democratic Unionist Party. I love them. I love how they defend the Union. We are on the same side. I'm gay, but I support them. I will vote for them with my if there's no chance the Ulster Unionists will win the seat, I will vote for them. Cover my nose. I mean, pinching my nose like I'm voting for the DUP. I will vote for them. We're on the same side, same team. Fine with them, but I don't think any Catholic will. Well, 1% of Catholics do vote for Democratic Unionists, but I do not see that number ever ever expanding. I'm not gonna, so that deals with the whole Ian Paisley on the praying for Catholics and calling the Pope the Antichrist. Like, I get it, man. Like, I get why you feel that way. Catholics have not been nice to Protestants ever, and then we like to deny the fact that we weren't, and we play the victim card far too often. In fact, we play the victim card all the time, and it's freaking ridiculous. But, and then also we were trying to deprive Ulster Scots of their heritage at that time, and it's just a whole big mess. So, like, I understand why he feels that way, but honestly, dude, like, you're not gonna win any Catholics who support the Union, and people like Sir John Gorman, who was in the RUC, and he was a Catholic and the deputy leader of the Ulster Unionists. You're not gonna win him over. I mean, he had a good working relationship with you, Mr. Paisley. Rest in peace, by the way. God save Ulster, and thank you for your defending the Union all those years. But you're not gonna win over any Catholics with that. Like, even so, like, I vote DUP with my nose pinched, while pinching my nose. But many Catholics are not just going to be cool with you calling their religious head the Antichrist or praying for their souls. Even if they understand the history, which, by God, most of them do not. But even when they do understand the history, they definitely don't want to vote for someone who demonizes them. Of course, I understand both sides. I talk about often how I am mixed. I talk about how I want to see both sides. And I do see both sides, and I do see where the Democratic Unionists are coming from. But not everyone is going to be willing to put their self-interest by the wayside. And the Democratic Unionists have alienated a lot of Catholics. So either what needs to happen is the Ulster Unionists, or a new party, or the Northern Irish Conservatives. Shout out to Chris Swan, my mate. Oh my God, that sounds so American. I tried to be British there. He's a good lad. Okay, can't do it. Let's not force it. It's not like it was earlier. Okay, so shout out to Chris Swan. He is a Northern Irish Conservative. Oh my God, I think I just outed him on that. But it either has to be the Conservatives, it has to be God willing, because I am identify as a Liberal Democrat for UK politics wide. It has to be the Liberal Democrats forsaking alliance and forming their own thing, and being like they are in Scotland, pro-Union, pro-European Union. By the way, I'm not pro-EU, but they're more liberal, and I hate Labour. But either has to be one of the major parties in the UK coming here and setting up, has to be Northern Ireland's Conservatives starting to actually have a presence. It has to be the Ulster Unionist Party, or it has to be, what my idea is, a Catholic Unionist Party that will just run in West Tyrone, Fermanagh, and South Tyrone, Mid-Ulster. Okay, so Newry and Armagh, South Down. Places that are unwinnable, and are thought of as unwinnable in several areas. This is not 1910. Not 1910, 1920. We are not going to redraw the districts so nationalists have a minority even in Londonderry, which, by the way, just voted SDLP. We are not going to do that. And yes, you might call me apologist for understanding why we did that. I'm not going to get into that now because I get off track far too often. Sorry, just checking my other YouTube video. But we are not going to do that again. I have shifted opinions. I used to be in favor of the Good Friday Agreement. Now I would scrap it. Also making that first, saying that First time I'm saying it is right now. Oh my god, sorry. It's 1 a.m. here and I'm tired. I just felt like making this video. But this is not 1920. We're not going to redraw the districts, so the Nationalists won't win, because A, that's wrong. We know that now. I understand why we did that, and actually at the time I probably would have been supportive of it, but we can look back and say, oh yeah, we probably shouldn't have done that. We understand why we did it, but we shouldn't have done it. And then we look back, and we aren't going to do that. So we know that's bad, we don't want to do that, and the British government will not let us do that. The Northern Irish Constitution says that there can be no discrimination based on religion. But, of course, we did that, and that violated the Constitution. And, in fact, Lloyd George, read the book Catholics of Ulster, wanted to veto that decision by James Craig to redraw the districts. But James Craig threatened to resign if Lloyd George did not agree, and that's how that happened. Wait, didn't I just say I wasn't going to get into history, and then I did? Okay, moving on. So, since we're not going to be able to redraw the districts, again, I'm sorry that I'm rambling on here. When it comes to politics, it's closely entwined with me in history, and I like to talk about it because I feel like the two are inseparable. That's why I'm a history and politics major at Queen's, pending loan. We're not going to redraw the districts, so we need to start to win over the Catholics. It's high time we did. So the Democratic Unionists aren't going to win over the Catholics. They're not going to win over liberal Protestants or liberal atheists or atheists overall. Oh yes, I know, atheists. I myself am neither Catholic nor Protestant. I'm actually Orthodox because I chose neither, because Protestantism, I love them, I respect them. They're my brothers, but the only religion in Protestantism that I would find inspiring is Anglicanism, and I just don't have the same zeal for it as Orthodoxy. So when I move to Northern Ireland, I plan on attending the Greek Orthodox Church in Belfast. But anyways, you're not going to win over atheists. Pardon my, that's not the right expression. You're not going to win over atheists. Swear to Jesus. That's the best I could come up with at this hour. You're not going to win over atheists. I know that many people probably don't have a high opinion of atheists, but they do have the right to vote, and you are not going to win them over Democratic Unionists, and you're not going to win over Catholics, and you're not going to win over liberal people. So the option is, like I said, Ulster Unionist. See, it's all coming together now. It's either Ulster Unionist, and even that's not the best option, a new political party that will run in these areas, as I mentioned, Northern Irish Conservatives, mimicking what Ruth Davidson did. Oh, what Ruth Davidson did. Oh, the last election that I actually cheered. Okay, mocking what Ruth Davidson did. Not mocking, I mean you know what I mean. Taking inspiration for what Ruth Davidson did in Scotland, reviving the Scottish Conservative Party. Yes, when Angus Robertson lost his seat, I cheered, and I cried a bit. Oh, I was so happy to see him go and see all this shades of unionism. Okay, getting off track here. I was also happy to see we kept our majority in Northern Ireland. And I also remember thinking, why is it so ridiculous that I have to worry about the Union every single election? But that's where we are. Moving past that, we need to do what Ruth Davidson did in Scotland, where the night that I cheered, that down goes Angus Robertson. We have to do that. We have to have either the Ulster Unionists, a new party, or the Northern Irish Conservatives, or the Liberal Democrats or Labour setting up their own individual party here and taking the votes away from these people. Okay, let's not go there. dehumanizing them, and I'll never support that. But away from the nationalist, we need someone who is not of the Democratic Unionists and is more to the left, is more appealing to Catholics, to carry on the sword of unionism. Because, as I said, what is this? Oh, this is a Northern Irish Assembly election. As I said, Catholics are going to be the majority, and the majority of them would vote no in a border poll. That's untapped potential there, my friends. I'm sorry, but if you don't want Catholics to be the saviors of the Union, but statistics are statistics. There is good news that Catholics want to support the Union. So statistics are statistics. Use them. Put aside your personal feelings. Try to appeal to them. Young people are more liberal. We saw that in 2019. We didn't really see that in assembly elections in 2017. Oh, actually, the Alliance did win 2.1% more. Did not see that there, but still, they were at 9.1%. And so what we did is we really saw that in 2019. The young people, they're more liberal. They're not against abortion. They're not against. A lot of them aren't against gay marriage. We need a more liberal party. And also, a lot of them are probably social democrats. Who probably will not vote SDLP, but will probably vote Alliance. We need to have a more Catholic-oriented, a more liberal party to go forward to appeal to those two constituencies. And don't get me wrong, the Democratic Unionists are great. I love them. They should stay as a party. The Ulster Unionists are great. I love them. I will take out party membership with them in 5 years, depending on if I don't start my own party. But I don't think I'll do that right away. I'm not going to choose Northern Irish Conservatives, even though I think that's a great option. I'm going Ulster Unionist. And those two parties should stay. Or, like I said, there's that option that we make the Ulster Unionists more moderate and we use them to appeal to Catholics. But other than that, even if that's not what happens, we should keep them as parties. Everyone who's in them, you're doing a great job defending the Union. Keep at it. We just need a new party to win in these places. These places. Again, they don't even have a map colored in. Oh, because they don't do member of parliament constituencies. That's not how they do them. Okay, but these people. Okay, that actually sounded dehumanizing. Forget I said that. And these people. And God forbid, those people. We need one that's more appealing to Irishness, Catholicism. Yes, people who identify politically as Irish, we need to appeal to them because some of them would still back us in the voting poll. But basically, generally, Northern Irish people, Catholics, and younger people who vote liberal. That's what we need to do. That's the future. That's my analysis of the results. Feel free to comment and tell me why I'm an idiot or why you think that's really what we should do. Either way, I'm good. I hear insults all the time. I'm called a West Brit. And then Unionists think I'm not unionist enough, so I'm used to hearing insults. I don't really care. Feel free to judge my results what you want. Leave a comment down below what you think. I accept all criticisms. I accept all opinions. I'm fine. But also make sure, if you like this video though, make sure to share and give it a like. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. Thank you. God save the Queen. For God and Ulster. And have a great night. /morning. Or whatever time you're watching this.